Oh, we live. You gonna take the picture?
What the hell is you doing, girl?
No, live on YouTube as well. The connections. What's that right there? Is it recording?
That's my Facebook. I think.
This just looks like you recording something.
Shit, I don't know what's happening. Let me just.
What's up, Sabrina? How you doing? I'm waving at y'all. I can't tap the screen. I'm waving. What's going on?
Hey.
You're officially in vacay mode, so hey, I'm jealous. It's about to be Libra season, so I'm gonna let y'all have this last little bit of Virgo season.
Oh Lord,
yeah.
Seasons.
It's about to be the best zodiac all year. You know, them Libras stepping in.
I can't never keep up. I don't ever keep up with it. All right, I'm ready. I think.
All right. Hey, before we get started, make sure y'all like and share, follow, social media, subscribe, all that. Hariah Enterprises Inc. HariahEnterprisesInc.com. Hariah Enterprises on all social media platforms.
Yeah.
Facebook, IG, YouTube. I think we got one for TikTok too. I don't know about Snapchat though. We're not on Snapchat.
I don't know a whole lot about Snapchat for sure.
So make sure y'all, if y'all on Facebook land, IG, just make sure y'all share it. Put it on your story. Whatever. This is gonna be a good topic today. That's gonna be a good one.
We always say that because we have some good topics.
We got some dope ass topics.
Like we got some good topics.
You know, we gonna check in with y'all. Y'all gonna talk to us. We gonna talk to y'all. Y'all gonna talk to each other. That's how we do it.
Yeah, it's gonna be good
on this thing.
It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah,
controversial for sure.
So make sure y'all share this thing. Put it on your feed on Facebook. Tag a few of your business owners, entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs in training, aspiring business owners and entrepreneurs.
All that, yeah. All that good stuff.
And if you're not an entrepreneur, you still can benefit from the information because we drop some jewels.
You might know some business owners that might need some help.
Yeah. And if you don't, you should. That means you need to broaden your horizons and get some other people in your life.
Type of friends.
Yeah.
You know. There's some type of different friends, maybe.
Different levels to this thing.
Yeah.
Different levels. So my bad, y'all.
All right. Hey, y'all. Facebook land. All right. So we always got to start off with the check-in. This month, every Monday we come in. You're coming from a fresh, either a good weekend, okay weekend, or whatever. But we always, got to check in from a number from 1 to 10. Because you always ask first. So I'm going to let you go first.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And make sure y'all put y'all's on that too. Yeah. Comment in the comment section. Just put what number are you? 1 to 10. 10 being the best. 1 being the suckiest. And we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, let us know where you at. So what you at?
Oh, man. Today, I feel like I'm between a 7 and an 8 right now. Busy day, not because it was a Monday. It's just because it's just been not busy, but just consistently doing something. Whether it's work or on the phone, trying to talk somebody off the ledge, trying to conduct some type of business, trying to clear some things up. You find some stuff out over the weekend. On Friday afternoon, and it'd be too late, and you can't really address it until Monday.
I'm not addressing it. If it ain't like a huge fire, I'm not addressing it. Yeah. Friday afternoon.
So we wait until Monday, so all those things come on Monday, and it all hit me today. But it's all good. I'm not stressing.
7.
I'd say about 7.5. I add the half on. We'll talk about it in a few minutes. Just my weekend. Yeah. One, anytime my 49ers win, you know, that's a good Sunday. You know, my other teams, my college team, Florida State, they won. I can't even talk about South Carolina State right now. I'm embarrassed for my home team, for my squad. We got to get it together, South Carolina State, on the football field. Just we talking about athletics. We need to get that together. Yeah. We're talking about possibly bringing in Ray Lewis as a head coach. I don't like that response.
I mean, I guess, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
Listen, you know.
But anyway.
I mean, I know with sports, it usually no matter whether it's college or pro, when the team is shitty, it's the coach is usually to blame. It could be you just got shitty players.
I mean, those are the ones that are on the field actually executing.
They execute. So if you got a plan, and they're executing the plan, what if you just got some bad, your players ain't really.
They need to pull some NIL deals. Get in that portal.
You need to do something.
But I think having someone that has an influence, even if it's not Ray Lewis, but someone, whether that has a connection to South Carolina State, HBCU, or, you know, a famous athlete or something like that. You see what is done for Jackson State, you know, these last few years with Deion. We're going to talk about that. But before we talk about that, we're going to check in with you. How you doing? 1 to 10. Where you at today?
Listen, I'm on motherfucking 10. I am on a 10 today. Okay. 10. I think I would say what makes it a 10 is one, I had a great weekend, and as a 51-year-old, putting yourself in different circles of people, you know, that are really enjoying life, having a good time. I was able to relax and refresh. I had a good weekend. And then came back today. Had a really good, productive day. You know, a little hiccups, but overall, I'm gonna go with a whole 10. Like,
I love it.
A whole 10. It's nothing too much that could go on that would change that or make it lower.
Right.
So I'm definitely going with a 10.
I love the 10. Hey, comment where y'all at. 1 to 10. Make sure y'all sharing this. I think it's like a good time I said that. Probably. Maybe because we started a little bit early. People are used to like the
8:30.
Yeah. But we had to change the time. One, because we need to do it a little bit early because we got some people that start shutting it down at like 8:30. They're in the bed and stuff like that. We can call them names, but y'all know who y'all are.
You're right. Be in the bed early.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's different, I guess, if you in the bed early and you're an early riser. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get up at 4:35. But if you got to be in bed by 9 and you still don't get up till 8, 9 o'clock, I don't know what you're doing. You sleeping your life away.
Yeah. I'm all for getting to sleep, but if you ain't getting up at like 2, 3 in the morning, why aren't you in the bed at 8 o'clock? You ain't even been up like literally 14 hours. Like if you wake up at like 6,
if I went to bed that early, I would definitely be up.
Yeah.
Like I'll be up
wide
at
awake.
2 or 3 o'clock.
Absolutely.
Like, I can't sleep that long.
I'll be taking those late naps, and I'll be up 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock, like wide awake. You know, but
so we're gonna start off with what's happening.
What's happening?
What's in the news? What's happening?
Yeah.
And I like basketball. That's my sport. You know what I'm saying? You know, I like golf. Definitely, I'm getting into tennis.
Okay.
You know, with your head doing like this.
Yeah.
But I watch up until the third quarter, Colorado State and Colorado game. Listen. What I will say is that people, what I've noticed just in the last couple of years with Deion Sanders is that people definitely show up. Us, we show up
Mm-hmm.
for Dion and the team, even when he was at Jackson State,
Yeah.
he did great things.
Yeah.
But I asked you earlier, like, yo, did you see that hit?
Yeah.
And I was like, I was ready to go fight. You know how like the AAU
Yeah.
kids doing stuff, and
Uh-huh.
you like, oh no, you ain't gonna hit my baby like that. What's wrong with you?
Listen.
And then I saw what he was like. He's gonna be out for a couple of games,
Yeah.
and he's like, the fact that he even came to play for Dion, and he's the number one pick. Like people saw it after
Right.
all these big schools, and he went with where Dion was at.
Absolutely.
I think it was awesome. But that dude hit him after the play was over. Big old dude, and looked back like
stood over him, like, you know.
I felt like he said the N-word under his helmet.
Yeah, I
felt
think
like
he
the
did.
N-word
Even in his
out.
actions,
Yeah.
it said, take that.
Take that. And so I was like, damn. But then as we were talking about it, we were like, when you think about it in perspective of business.
Right. Hey,
and
Jay.
we always talking about, you know, being your own marketing,
Mm-hmm.
you're a brand for your business. Like,
right.
You can talk about how many sunglasses. So I thought it was really funny that how he turned over a negative comment or what was meant to be negative into dollar signs and a positive, to where I thought it was funny as hell because all the kids had shades on.
Listen. Like we talk about this often on this platform, even in my therapy sessions or whatever the case may be, is the skill of being able to pull something positive out of a negative situation.
Right.
Always being able to find something that you can grow from any experience, whether it's positive or negative. But even when it's negative, you're able to pull something positive out of it and make you better. So this is a prime example, no pun intended, well pun intended, because I said prime. This is a prime example of utilizing something that was negative, that was meant to be negative, as far as just hyping up the game or getting spotlight on him or whatever the case may be. Dion utilized that and said, you know what? The best way to benefit from this, not only to rally the troops in the locker room, because playing football, like the locker room is like a sacred space. Like if you've never played sports and been in a locker room, it is nothing like it. You know, you develop relationships, the energy, the brotherhood, the sisterhood, all of those things. But to utilize that and say, you know what, he meant it for a negative thing. We're gonna utilize it to motivate us for the game, but also too, we're gonna capitalize.
Man, did he capitalize?
1.3 million in one day in sales, just off of that. And
they ain't even no cute shades. I ain't even gonna lie. They ain't no cute shades. But what I said is that it takes you in the mindset of an entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. And even having this morning when I earlier I was watching my pastor on her YouTube, and he was talking about having a motivated mindset. And so sometimes when people throw those negative things in your way, or you're around people that's Debbie Downer. So imagine if Deion Sanders wasn't who he was, and somebody came and was like, man, that's kind of messed up. And the whole energy, you got the Debbie Downer people, the whole team, then they probably would have lost, and he would not, been able to do what he did. But the fact that people bought those shades, that they ain't even all that, but they bought them because of who
Dion was,
because who he is or what he represents. Absolutely. And so even when you think about in the business perspective, like people, we always say it when you have a product or a service, is people don't buy the product, they buy you. Yes. They investing in you. And so when people don't trust what you're saying, people don't think that you know what you're talking about, then it's a little bit harder for people to support your business, because they're like, okay, I mean, you kind of pop up here and there on social media. We kind of see you here and there out, but do you really know what you're talking about? Do I really like you? Like, do I really feel like investing in you? Yeah. So sometimes it's not really about like what what you may have or what you're talking about. Sometimes it's really about the fact that you consistent in your information that you give out and persistent, but then you know what you're talking about. Like people don't have to question like, because when Dion come out there, like, man, you are, you know what I'm saying, you feeling like the prime, like you feeling like prime. You out there with these colorful ass shades on, like
he makes you want to run through a brick wall. With his motivational speeches, like he literally makes you want to walk through a brick wall. And tonight's topic, Jay, is friendships and partnerships. Are they able to mesh together? Can we do that? And that's just a side. But again, that was one of those moments. I never seen so many people posting on Facebook at 2:00 in the morning.
Facebook, IG, even today, Monday, everything that's on my timeline was something with Deion Sanders, Colorado.
Yep.
And it was memes. It was the sound he used. Like, what about me makes you think that I care about what you think about me?
Absolutely.
You didn't make me.
Yeah.
God made me. So you can't break me. How the hell I know that? Other than the fact that it's been repeatedly played.
Absolutely.
Like, and it's crazy because when you think about it, you have people that either they're going to support your business or not. You know, they're going to support you or whatever. Right. But the fact that if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing in your business, whatever that calling that you think that you have, if you feel like God is the one that put you there and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, why does it matter who supports you, who don't support you? That's all he's saying. Like, y'all can talk about me all y'all want to. Why the hell y'all think I care? And what about me? Why you think I care?
Right. And like Jay said, sometimes it's the way the consumer connects with your energy.
Right.
As an owner, as a brand.
That's important. That's important because I've had people to say, like, I just like your rawness. Like I don't know what it is about you. I just appreciate you being honest.
Yeah.
So sometimes people appreciate that. You're gonna have customers that are gonna flock to you because of that. And you're gonna have some people say, I need you to be a little soft. And I ain't in my soft season, so you had to go to the other person, and that's okay. You know, saying that because I'll say I'm not for everybody, and you have to be okay for that. All right, and being able to decide or discern who's your customer, and who's not.
And that's that confidence, you know, that you have in your abilities, your capabilities, and what you bring to the table to say, you know what, like, that's cool.
Right.
I'm not running behind no client.
No.
Like, you either gonna book me or you're not. You see what it is. The price is the price.
Right.
Even if we cool, the price is still the price. Don't ask me for no discount.
But people that are, and that kind of segues even into our conversation is people that are your friends. And I have friends that have Tina on here. Like, I have friends that have purchased products from me, and when I sold t-shirts and stuff, and I sent the bill or I said this is how much it costs, and that was it. I think when you have friends and you own a business and they ask for a discount, they're not your friends. That's period, point blank.
Already dropping the jewel there.
You can't be my friend because you already know what it costs to run my business.
Right.
You already know what my services or products cost. So I would think if you are quote unquote supporting me, then you're not gonna ask me for a discount. Like,
don't ask. Let me give it to you. If I'm feeling benevolent, let me give it to you, but don't ask.
I'm not. Listen, I will give it, even if you don't ask. I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna throw in a friends and family 10 or 15%. Right. But I've not had any of my quote unquote friends. I got people I know, but I haven't had friends that be like, well, Steph, you gonna hook me up? Like, you gotta. What's the discount? Ain't no discount. The price is the price. In fact, it's higher now since you're asking me for a damn discount.
Right, absolutely.
Oh Lord.
I was gonna give you a little something extra, but no, you just getting
That's
what you pay for.
Here you go.
Yep, that's the invoice right there.
Oh.
So getting into our topic for today, which is partnerships in business, and specifically talking about friendships, right? We're not talking about, your significant other, because we kind of touched on that before.
Right.
But we're talking about friends. How many of us have them?
How many of us have them?
So
friends?
Is there a benefit to having someone that you call a friend to be a part of a business that you have, or y'all have a joint venture, as far as partnerships?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a healthy way to do that? And what are some of the pitfalls and challenges that come with that? Because there are definitely some.
Yeah.
So I want to get you guys' input on this as well. What are some of the experiences that you have, if you ever had partnerships with friends or even hired a friend? Like, that's another aspect of it, to where you're the boss and you hire a friend as an employee. And I've seen it. I've seen it work for a certain amount of time, and I've seen it not work.
I think it's all about the friendship.
Mm-hmm.
So I could have a friend that is great with certain parts of business, but they're horrible with other parts. And so I'm able to say, I feel like the best people to get, some people say no, but I feel like the best people, or I think the best people to get in business with is family or friends. Only because
it's losing fam.
I'm gonna say friends.
Yeah.
So because if y'all, and the only reason why I say friends like that is because if you're friends, not people you know, true friends.
We're talking about friends, not associates, not
just friends.
Somebody on your Facebook friends list, or somebody that follow you.
Right.
But an actual friend that kind of knows.
And y'all know each other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all know each other. Y'all know y'all quirks.
Yeah.
One person maybe have a strength in this. But what also I think is when you have a issue or you butt heads and you don't agree, as friends, you're able to sit down and have the conversation to hopefully resolve it. Now, now you got some people that's petty as hell.
Right.
And they could be your friends, and guess what? They'd be like, no.
So I kind of take it, I definitely agree with what you're saying. And at the same time, I look at it sometimes as like, partnerships in business is kind of like a marriage, right? And we've spoken about marriage and our thoughts and all those things, right? So think of your business, and having a partnership. We always use family connotations where we're talking about your business is your baby,
right.
And the other person, your partner, is kind of like your husband or your wife or whatever the case may be. But in these particular situations, I feel like because they know you, sometimes they may take it for granted, like the business aspect of it, and sometimes those lines get blurred to where you can't separate the business from the personal.
Now I can see that part, because if you did something and you didn't, we might have talked about something and you just went on and purchased, you made this major purchase for the business, and we didn't really completely talk about it. We kind of did, but we didn't agree on it, and you just went on and did it. I think what probably could happen is that we end up, it spills over to the personal. So then it affects the friendship.
Absolutely.
Because now, you know what I'm saying, I'm feeling them, I'm in my feelings. You already know how I feel, so I don't need to talk about it.
Right.
And so then you get mad, but then it still goes back to, I think we talked about this before, so if we're really friends, I should be able to come to you and have that transparency. I just don't know if that is realistic. When somebody, you know what I'm saying, when you're dealing with finances, all other kind of stuff, and you like, well, I mean, I told you, I didn't tell you to do that. Like, what the fuck you doing?
Right.
And then now, what I'm saying, you trying to go to the kids' christening or a birthday party, and y'all about to fight because y'all ain't resolved the issue.
Absolutely. And again, that just adds on to what I was saying as far as, it being a marriage, like being able to recognize, certain aspects. There are some positives. There's a mutual understanding, especially initially. When two heads come together, two or more heads come together, there's a mutual interest, whether that be the money or the field area, whatever the case may be, there's a mutual interest in understanding what you're trying to accomplish in the business. Another thing, there's a rapport already built. You don't have to start from scratch. You know what each other's strengths are, what the weaknesses are from a personal standpoint. And sometimes it kind of carries over to the professional. But I know if you're lazy in personal life, I know that you're probably going to be lazy in business. Right. We often talk about that, how your professional life often imitates your personal life.
Oh, it has
if your personal life is chaotic, then your business is going to be chaotic.
And some people say if you can't work in chaos, then you probably ain't you can't own a business. Like you gotta have some level of be able to deal with some level of chaos, because it don't really matter. I don't want to say depend on your business, but it don't really matter what your business is, whether it's a product or service. You could legit have a whole bunch of stuff happen negatively in one day, and it could be truly chaotic. Like you still got to get this done, you got these orders, you got these people looking, and so it could be chaotic. So if you can't live in some type of, where stuff is chaotic or chaos going on, and you kind of, sometimes people, when shit get chaotic, they gonna shut down and they go in their office and close the door and don't communicate. And so I want
to know what it looks like. When everything is good, it's easy. Right. So, but I think, to your point, being able to handle chaos and, distractions and things that come up in business, that's a natural thing. But when they're self-imposed, types of things as far as partnership, if we're in a partnership and you're not communicating with, with the other partner, what you're doing, that's dysfunctional, right? So those things are self-imposed. Now, if something business related comes up, or some red tape, or something happens where you...
But what if they don't tell you?
That's a problem. We're going to talk about that. When you know someone, when there's a friendship, there should be strong communication, which is vital in any relationship. In any type of relationship, and definitely in a partnership. I need to know what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, your strengths may be your strengths and mine is mine, but let me know what you're doing, so one, we're not bumping heads and ultimately not losing money.
So do you think it's a good idea to go into business with somebody when you already know, if you know what their weaknesses are? So if I know that your weakness is a lot, you lack communication, or there's a breakdown in the communication, even as a friend, or you kind of struggle because with finances, because you make money, but you trying to keep up with the Joneses and the Combs, so you buying stuff that you really may not need or can't afford. And so then y'all both have this great idea, and y'all decide to, we're gonna set some roles and responsibilities. You're gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. Do you think that could still work, even though I know as a friend, I know what your weaknesses are? So maybe my roles and responsibilities may not fall under what your quote unquote weaknesses are, or things that you need to develop and work on.
I think it's possible, as long as those things are addressed up front. Hey, I know you're struggling in this particular area. If we're going into business, that's something that I clearly need to know that you're working toward. If I know that you're late all the time, in submitting certain things or things that are needed, if you're constantly like overlooking it or not being fully vested in something, I'm gonna be looking at you. So red flags are there, and then you just use your discernment whether those weaknesses can have a negative impact on business. Now, unless you say, hey, I understand this, that, and the third, this is the plan, right, on how I'm going to address these particular things. And you're a partner, so, and you're grown up, you're an adult. So the responsibilities that you said that you're going to do, I'm going to hold you to that. Yeah. And so I think on the negative side of having friendships, in business or partnerships, is that because the lines get blurred sometimes, that could ultimately impact the personal relationship that you have with that person. I've seen it happen.
I feel like that's inevitable. I feel like that could really mess up a good relationship.
Right.
Like I just think if you're not I feel like I think it could work, but the two people, it just depends on the people. I won't say the two people. It depends on the people, right? Because if it's gonna roll over to, our friendship, and then you feeling some kind of way, I'm thinking we good because I done left the business at the door,
right? And some people not rap like that.
And I'm like, well, what the fuck wrong with you? Like, you tripping? And then
I think we had a conversation at the office, and something happened. Now you carrying over to game night. We over here
drinking and having a good time, and you over there sitting in the corner
being
with your
saucy.
mouth tore up, your whole mouth tore up and stuff. Your eyes rolling. And I'm like,
whole bottle of Epsom salt.
What's happening? Like, because I know my personality is. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about it. And I feel like once we talk about it, then let's move on. I don't want to talk about that shit for 2 weeks. No. And I don't want you to bring it back up to me 2 weeks later. Like, I just think once we talk about it and we decide what the solution is, and we move forward with the solution, like, I'm over it. Like, but some people would like to stay in it.
And I think what Kim said here on Instagram, if y'all can't see it, but she says that she thinks role setting is vital, in knowing those strengths. So we talk about the strengths and weaknesses. So clearly defining roles. This is what you do.
This is what I do.
Right. Otherwise, then you start overstepping boundaries.
But sometimes I think it's gonna overlap. Like it depends on the business.
Right.
Depends on the part. Like how many of y'all intertwine in the partnership. But when it overlaps to something that I know that's your role, that I'm gonna have a conversation and say, now, so I'm just letting you know this is what came, this is what's going on. I know you normally deal with it. Do you want to deal with it, or you want me to handle it? And if I do you have some input on how it should be handled, or how you think? And then that way, the communication, the lines are not really blurred. You don't feel like I'm, overstepping my boundaries. You don't feel like I'm trying to take over. Because that could, that could be another one. You think, what I'm saying? You thinking I'm trying to take over, and I'm really not. But
well, what if they're slacking on their side, and you feel like you have to overstep in order to make sure things are done? They're not handling that role. We can talk about it after the fact, but it could be time sensitive. Like, Negro, I need for this to be done, and you're not doing it, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you that I'm gonna overstep because it's not being done. We can talk about it after the fact, but right now it needs to be done. You're not doing it.
I mean, I feel like it's like Jeezy and his wife. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, certain things slide, but after a while we're gonna have to get a divorce. And that need to be in the prenup.
So, handling conflict. Because in partnerships, any type of partnership, whether it's intimate, romantic, business, friendship, whatever, there's going to be conflict because we're individuals.
It's gonna happen.
It's inevitable. So, and we think different. What does that look like? that's usually one of my questions going to any type of partnership. If we have disagreements, conflict of interest, in a sense, how do we manage that? My thing is paperwork. What does it say in the bylaws? What does it say in the policy and procedures as to how we're supposed to handle this situation? Do we need a mediator? All these different things.
Oh, we gonna have listen. Depending on how far that shit go, like we gonna need a mediator because I'm gonna try to get my point across. Mm-hmm. You trying to get your point across. Nobody is listening to nobody. Mm-hmm. But then you like, okay, then who calls to be like, you know what I'm saying? You know, if you're getting a divorce or a separation, mm-hmm. it might be, you know, you got to get lawyers and the mediation involved, right? But when you think about y'all just can't seem to agree to disagree and move on, mm-hmm. and you who calls the mediation? Like it's got to be in the paperwork that okay, it's a mediation.
You got to look at the paperwork, like Tim said. You know, go back to the contract. What does the contract say?
That's what I'm saying. What the contract
get that agreement out, and for all entrepreneurs, business owners, aspiring entrepreneurs, mm-hmm. and business owners, make sure your paperwork is right. What does it say in black and white?
Yeah,
get the contracts. I don't care how cool y'all are, how long y'all have known each other. You know this person like the back of your hand, but when it comes to business, people act up in several different ways. They act up when it comes to business, when money's involved.
Money for sure.
They act up at weddings and funerals.
We know they gonna act up at funerals for sure.
You see what I'm saying? So make sure that your paperwork is right, so you don't have to go in there being all emotional. You just look at this is what it says. This is what was done. This is what it says needs to be done.
Yeah, but that might listen. What Damion said, y'all, might work in the AI world. In the real MF world, like people are going to take things too personal, mm-hmm. and they're gonna take it to a whole not the other level, whole nother level. And it depends on, like, I feel like it kind of depends on what the money, because I've seen people go into business mm-hmm. agreements, get business together, and they make great money.
Right.
And somehow or another, somewhere, somebody done put their hand in the cookie jar, somebody done did something more than, somebody done did a lot more. So then you like, well, what the hell is happening? And we supposed to be friends, but then you could be in this friendship, businessship, and you like, well, shit, bitch, you ain't never been my friend, like this. And then you like, okay, we binded by this contract or this business, but guess what? This person could have never really been your friend, and you could be a MF that you've known. Mm-hmm. For 20 years.
Right.
But they not really be your friend. So when you're thinking about business, I just feel like you got to be really careful with friendships, and the line drawn in the sand has to be documentation, policies, and procedures, and know your role. Like, stay in your damn lane. Right. Don't come over in my lane.
Exactly.
And I feel like that might be the only way that it could possibly work.
Effective communication. Hey, B, what's going on? She fresh from country somewhere.
Well, listen,
I can't even keep up.
We can't even keep up with B. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, you know what I'm saying? She like, what's them people that live in other countries and they just come to the U.S. to visit? You know what I'm saying, B? That's you. You know what I'm saying? You're all the way in Dubai and Africa and all Italy and.
What happened to my pasta?
You know what I'm saying?
Can I get some pasta?
Did you bring me some wine back from Italy?
Listen, so we can kind of, I guess maybe
because B said first time we talked to her, she said no.
Right.
She said don't mix business and friendship.
Absolutely. So we got two sides of the coin, as you all know. You know, Haran Project that's comprised of two families. You know, and. You know, and me and my sister do business together. So it's like, it can work. Do we have those conversations when we have our meetings? Of course. Like, you know, what the fuck is
But
going
I
on?
think we take it. I think we take because because we sisters and brothers. Like I already know. He know my strong suits. I know his. Just like he may know my weaknesses. Right. But at the end of the day, whatever we might talk about in a meeting, if it is never said disrespectful, right, it's always coming from a genuine place. And so me knowing that, or you knowing that, it's not. I don't think we would ever be like, okay, well, we just had we just messed up a whole business. Like we ain't gonna never talk to each other again. Like I feel like our relationship can sustain whatever. Absolutely. But that's me and my brother. Right. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how everybody and their brother.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because I don't know. It's important to one be able to separate those two things. Yeah. And also have the commonality as far as the goal. Like our goal in establishing business with us is for our kids and our kids' kids. Right, right. You know what I'm saying? You know, building that legacy, and that's the Harmon family. That's just what it is. So of course we're gonna have those rips. We're gonna lose some money. We're gonna make some money. Whatever the case may be. Yeah. Hopefully, I'm not gonna speak losing money into
we're just making money.
You know, we just making money and learn experiences. Yeah. Not gonna lose money. It's always an investment. Right. But looking at it from that standpoint, when we're talking about friends, they're outside of time. There's no true bond. No, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's nothing that's holding y'all. It's no glue that's holding y'all together. Right. But now when you think about it too, you have some people that are friends that are family that's better than the family that you share blood with. Absolutely. And so I feel like you have to take that into some form of consideration. I can only say, like, I've had friends that I've known. Let me take that back. I got people that I known, and when it came into business, I realized like I didn't really know this person. Luckily, we didn't really go into business, but our relationship just was strong. It was, needless to say, I don't talk to him no damn more. You know what I'm saying? Right. But I had to learn, like, okay, I thought that we were friends. I'm throwing you business, you throwing me business, but then when I'm not doing what you think I should do, or if I'm not, doing what you feel like I'm supposed to do, right? Then you like, well, I mean, I sent you this person, or I sent you this many people, and that's where the ish get effed up, because I'm like, well, wait a minute, you think that you made me? You think that because you tossed some customers my way that I owe you something? And so I feel like that's where you really have to be careful, because if you refer people to me, I refer people to you, you refer people to me. But if we were friends and you did that and you feel like, okay, because you did all this, like, my success in my business is partially because of you and not God and my hard work, like, you got the game effed up. And so I learned that, well, wait a minute, I forgot that meme where it was like, okay, I see you. You've been a hater. You've been like that, and you didn't realize it. But sometimes you say, okay, well, that's just how this person is, or that's how she is. And that little stuff, that little business. I see you got your little business, or I see you. Right. But then you ain't liking none of my shit, but you talking about you see me. That's what the memes say. The meme, like. You stop liking, you stop commenting, you don't like a comment, and it don't take a lot. I feel like it's friends. Like if it's anybody that's a friend of mine that I consider a friend, a friend. Right. I'm sharing your shit. I'm commenting on your shit. And if you see my stuff and you ain't sharing it and commenting, that's free. That's free. That's nothing financial. Like that's free. Free. That's what Rick Ross said. Like, it don't matter if you my people
It don't matter what it is that you're
I don't
selling
even know.
or promoting.
I don't even know what the post be about. Sometimes be like, somebody be like, yo, do you see? No, I just shared it or I liked it or whatever. Absolutely. And I think that's just a form of support that, like you said, you don't, it's no dollar sign, but we don't know the same people. Yeah. And so you posting my courses or posting my transportation information, it's gonna come across people. They be like, oh, or if I say, well, my brother's a therapist and my brother does photography, that ain't hurting. That's not hurting anything. So when people don't do that, I'm looking at you sideways, bro. I'm like, why you ain't sharing my stuff?
I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm an observer.
I see you. I'm
an observer. You know, I'm not quick to respond. I used to be that hothead. You know, now it's just, hey, I can't control the situation, but I can control how I respond to the situation. So I'm just gonna sit back and, you know, see what it be like.
No, I mean, listen. I'm a love you from a distance, like arm's length, you know what I'm saying? But when we interact, like when I see you, it's just gonna be like a head nod, like what's up? And that's gonna be it. Cause I feel like I don't need that energy. I'm not even gonna waste the time to even act like you my people or you in my circle, because you're really not. There's no need for me to spend no time with you. There's no need for me to interact.
Listen, I ain't gonna lie. I've been in a partnership previously, to where we felt, because again the boundaries was crossed. You know, I think I spoke on this, you know, previously, talking about romantic relationships, but we wasn't in a romantic relationship. We were friends, but knowing that there was an interest there, unspoken, like, yo, like you can go down at any point in time. Being able to say, hey, we got these boundaries, but you violated the boundary, and then once you violate, then I'm like, no, I gotta step back. So now the whole energy in the business is different. And when it crosses over from personal to the business side, you affecting the business. You gotta know when to step away. All money ain't good money, and if I feel like I'm coming into a stressful situation, which you already going to have some stressors in business, just knowing that. But when you have additional stressors and things that are going on that's not even business related, but it's the other person, like you gotta know when to fold that thing.
Know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away.
I have
know when to run.
Dissolving any type of relationship.
Oh my goodness.
What's that? It's a little video that be on social media. This dude said, I think I healed too much. Because I just cut people off. And
listen, the dude that is, I forgot what, I think it's on TikTok. It's a dude I could follow, and he's like, he's petty.
Right.
Everything is about pettiness. And he's like, yo, sometimes, you know what I'm saying, I cut people off so quick. Sometimes I cut myself off.
I know exactly what you're talking about. That's probably the same dude.
He's like, damn, cut myself off.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm telling you, like, I just think, I just looked at a meme where it was Jason, and the person had on the Jason mask, and they had the knife, and they was like, it ain't nothing to cut that bitch off with the knife. And the whole song was playing, and you know Jason dancing with the song, and people like, man, you can't just cut people off. And then under that is like me with the colon, and with Jason with the knife, and I feel that wholeheartedly. Like I think, when you get
to that space of emotional intelligence, intelligence, self-awareness, all those things. It's just certain things that you're just not going to deal with, and you deal with the ramifications of your decision. You don't know whether it's going to be a right or wrong decision until you make a decision.
I think any decision that you make that provides you with some form of peace, self-awareness, where you're okay with the decision that you made. Like you might not like it, but at any point for me, and people always say that I'm at a point in my life where I'm gonna do what makes me happy.
Yeah.
And if it's a strained relationship or it's a one-sided relationship, then it's I can't give it energy. Like I just because it kind of takes you back to a place where you feel like you kind of, I won't say completely healed because I don't think people are completely healed. There's always going to be something that might might trigger or happen. But if I could avoid those triggers, like my therapist said, like what are the triggers, Stephanie? You know what I'm saying? If you can avoid those triggers, then that's when you have to be like, okay, I recognize this. I remember this part. Like I remember I thought I got past this. Okay, let me not take a left. Let me go right. And so that's the same thing I feel with friends. Like when you behave a certain way, you know, how people like, okay, you're acting a little weird. Yeah. Then that's when you like, okay. And in business, shit, if you acting real weird and you know being sneaky.
Yeah, we can't do that.
How that work?
The sneakiness part doesn't work. I think when it comes to professional relationships, but also personal, I think when you come to a place to where it's time to dissolve or it's time to do something else, right? I think a lot of people struggle with that transition because of their own ego, right?
Elaborate. Speak on that. Elaborate on that.
If it doesn't work, right? Okay. If the partnership doesn't work, if the relationship doesn't work, if the friendship fails, how does that look to other people? How will other people interpret that? Like, are they gonna look at me as a bad person because I'm unable to sustain a healthy relationship? Or you know what I mean? Like, and so when you said reciprocity, you know, it's important. Like if it's one-sided, if I'm going 100%, you better give me a little bit. And I said, no, that enough is enough. Like we need to dissolve this whatever relationship. I don't, because it's gonna be so many stories.
Yeah,
it's gonna be your story, my story,
and what really happened.
So I think a lot of people, just like in personal relationships, they continue to do or involve themselves in toxic situations, dysfunctional relationships out of their own ego.
So when you say that, when you say people own ego, you mean I'm gonna stay, or we're gonna continue this friendship, businessship, right? Because the fear of what people may think about me.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm just thinking out loud and visualizing just overall dysfunctional relationships. You can stay in a relationship for an extended period of time and say, well, eventually they're going to come around. Eventually they're not going to be lazy in business. Eventually they're going to stop spending, you know, money that we don't have in business, or they're not going to be selfish, or and if I do this and I do this, or I do that, then they will change.
I see what you're saying.
You can't control
so really,
that.
You're just kind of, you're saying, what you're saying is me, the sane person, and you, the person that's not sane. If I not necessarily like fear what people will say, but you kind of think, well, I'm gonna stay around because what I see in you, like I know you can do better. Right. I know you can get better. Like we just gonna. I'm just gonna keep.
If you do this, then you know the business can boom. If you can just twerk this particular thing, or we can figure out a way to kind of maneuver, then we'll all be successful. So you're looking at the end result, or the potential of the end result, not being in the present. Like right now, you fucking up.
So you're saying, I don't forgot who video this was, but somebody did a video like I'm dealing with people where they at right now. I'm not dealing with people where I want you to be with your potential no more. Yeah, the potential don't work. No. So whatever you show me right now, how you are in this business is what I have to go on. Yeah, that's all I got. I don't. You know how the kids say, I don't got a whole lot of time or energy, and that's
Yeah.
what a toxic relationship.
Yeah.
That's what you be with. Okay,
Absolutely.
I got you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times I feel like I think in relationships, period,
Mm-hmm.
as people, you subconsciously deal with people or keep people around because what you think they can do.
Absolutely.
What their potential is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I just, you know what I'm saying? I just think she's such a great person. Like, she just
She's
has so much.
Yeah.
And then 10 years down the line, she still ain't shit. She
They
still
still
ain't
in that
doing
same
that.
space.
It's still in the same space, and you wasted something that you can't get back. And
Right.
you wasted all this time on this person because you saw something that clearly they didn't see.
Absolutely.
And so you working on potential.
We don't do that.
Okay, that's a good one.
We don't do potential no more. What are you showing right now? Because everybody got potential. There's a Joe crackhead on the corner that had a whole lot of potential in his teenage years, and guess what? Something happened within his life, and he said, "Fuck it," and
the potential
is out the window.
But because I think that's like, I just feel like I think that's a lot of our headache.
Yeah.
Period.
Absolutely.
Dealing with people, because I mean, I could, even as a business owner, I could do consultations and talk to people about, you know, what they're trying to do in their business, and then they talking, and I'm like, oh man, I see great, like, man, that's a great idea.
Right.
And then I talk to you, you know, 30 days later, because, you know, I'm gonna give you a nice little blueprint on stuff, what you need to do next.
Right.
And I'm gonna touch base with you, you know, 3 weeks later. You like, man, I'm still working.
Or you haven't done
anything.
I'm
still thinking like I'm trying to push forward. And so when you think about, if you are in any kind of professional service like consulting, I think that happened. I think with V, we were talking about that because you feel like you know, people take your classes, they do your workshops, and you give out all this information.
Right. And
then you talk to them 3 months later, and they still haven't executed.
Right.
So then you can kind of feel like, oh, wait a minute, there's some steps.
You know what?
But it's on you as a business owner to execute what you learn. And a lot of times we get information, we go to all these trainings, we talk to all these different people, and you get the information, but usually execution is the problem.
Absolutely. And sometimes even within that example of being a consultant, you know, coach, all those different things, again, it goes back to that ego. Sometimes, as being a consultant and a person who has consulted with other people, sometimes you take it personally that their success, you know, hasn't happened. You know, it was like, man, like, I'm giving you everything. This is something that I'm doing wrong. Like, maybe I'm in the wrong business.
Tina said the motivation has to match the conversation.
Absolutely. So we, you know, rah, when we're on this call, this 30-minute call, this hour call, and then a week pass or 2 weeks pass, or even like you said, 30 days pass, and you still at that same spot where I left you at. Like, come on now.
It happens a lot. It happens a lot, and I just know as a, you know, coach, mentor, like, I had to come to grips with that.
Right.
Because I was like, okay, I you know what I'm saying? I'm like Eddie Murphy, like, I'm giving Mac Daddy vibes, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pushing out this information. And I'm like, yo, let's go.
Right.
And then
nothing.
So that go back to everybody is not really cracked up to be an entrepreneur, to start a business, because you gotta be self-motivated.
Yeah,
and I learned that a lot of people, hell, it's a dang job on Fiverr. People pay people to motivate them every day. A personal accountability partner. So you know, you need somebody like that sound like Deion Sanders in your ear. Yes. You need prime time in your ear, or Eric Thomas in your ear every morning. Like, let's go, let's go, let's get up. You know what I'm saying? Let's work it.
Hey, listen.
What you supposed to be
If I
doing?
gotta
Get
do
that
all
task
that,
list out. Get
I'm
that
good.
task list out. Get that list out. What's them goals looking like? Let's go. If some people, if they don't have that
right
every day,
yeah.
because we get, I mean, I get, I won't say unmotivated. I get in a funk some days, and I'm like,
you want to check out.
I'm like, yo. Then I be like, girl, get your ass up. What you
Right.
doing? You tripping.
Right.
You tripping.
Yeah.
But everybody don't have that self-motivation to say, or that inner person. Like, you need to be your own inner Eric Thomas, own prime time. Like, girl, talk to yourself.
Your own personal cheerleader. Like, you need that. And it's important that the person that's doing the consulting or that person that's motivating not take it personal when that person isn't as motivated as you.
Yeah, I had to learn
I had to learn that early as being a therapist. I'm giving you all these different steps and coping strategies and, deep breaths and counting to 10 and going for a walk, your woosah, mindfulness.
You still fighting.
Next week is like, no, I didn't try that. But then you complain about like Kim said, that ADHD, that anxiety, that fear, whatever the case may be, but you're not making any steps to change it. And I say almost every week here on this platform, acceptance leads to change.
Yeah.
If you accept that you have an anxiety or that you're struggling in a particular area, until you accept that you're struggling in that area, it's going to remain the same.
Yeah, you got to take that mask off.
I
would definitely say that's a fact. Because you're so used to putting on this mask. And I said that, I was saying that like a couple months ago. I was like, yo, I had a breakdown in the whole car, like crying and shit. And I was like, but I was okay with saying at that moment I was not okay.
Right.
And I think a lot of times for a lot of us, we kind of used to putting that mask on in front of people, going every day. And sometimes you just got to be like, yo, I ain't okay. Like, this shit right here, this life is life.
Yeah.
And I'm
take the cape off.
You gotta take the cape off.
Because you gotta think, if you're a business owner, you're in a leadership position. You go home, if you're a parent, significant other, whatever the case may be, there are roles that you're playing on each aspect of your life. And if you don't take that moment to yourself to reflect and say, hey, I'm struggling, I'm spiraling, whatever the case may be, ignoring it is not going to change it. Saying, no, I'm good.
No,
I'm good.
So people say, how you doing? And sometimes people automatic answers, yo, I'm good.
Right.
Like, I'm good. And I have some friends, and I'm like, nah, because I'm that friend that's coming for you. Yeah. Like, if I ain't heard from you, or I know your text is a little short, and I'm coming for you.
Right.
I'm going down there, and I'm like, girl, what's going on? Like,
exactly.
I'm good. Nah, the fuck you ain't.
Nah,
you ain't good. But you gotta have those people in your corner, and that was a quote. Like, you gotta be those people. You gotta have people in your corner that know when you go quiet.
Right.
As a entrepreneur, if I go quiet, somebody coming for me. I don't know which one in my circle, but I know for a fact that my circle is filled with people that genuinely care about me and love me. Right. So if you notice, Stephanie is not her normal self. Well, she done got a little quiet over here. Then you like, oh shit, let me go.
Let me
check in. Like, what's good?
Let me see your face. Because sometimes those text messages are cool. Right. But you can get that, hey, I'm good, and keep going. But those phone conversations, pick up the phone.
And call.
FaceTime. Drop by motherfucker's crib. Like if you my friend, like I'm pull up. Yeah. I'm gonna pull up wherever you are. Yeah. If you're not in a good space, I'm coming.
Be okay. And you have to be okay with being vulnerable with and very transparent with those people in your circle, friends, family, whatever, to say, like, I know I said I was good, bro, but I ain't good. Like, life is kicking my ass right now. But if you don't have those people in your circle, like, you better find some.
I always say, like, it's important to have those people in your circle, but sometimes you have to role model what it is that you want to see in those relationships.
Mm.
Sometimes you have to say like, hey man, like right now I'm struggling, XYZ.
Right.
And you kind of like jump off that ledge and see how they respond. Like, are they gonna catch you, or are they just gonna let you fall and be like, oh man, like that's fucked up.
That's fucked up, bro.
And
you want to go out? You want to go out for some
exactly.
grace?
You know what I'm saying? Like, but sometimes I don't want to say it's a test, but it's also being that person that you want to see in your relationship. Being that.
Well, if you don't
friend.
test, if you don't ever go through stuff, you know they say that about relationships. I say they, but I've just seen it. I've just seen people video where they'll say, you know, the true test of a relationship, whether you dating, friendship, whatever, is when stuff ain't good.
Absolutely. When
things are not good,
that's when you see it.
And people start dropping off, or they not checking in on you.
Yeah.
Then you like, well, damn, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm struggling like I was up for years, but now I'm down a little bit, and people ain't checking on me like that. So then you kind of realize, okay, I might need to change my circle. If you don't have nobody, I'm gonna tell you, I'm definitely that friend. Like I tell people all the time, I'm a very loyal person by nature.
Right.
If I fuck with you hard, I fuck with you.
Right.
And so I feel like, well, I've just learned that I keep people in my circle that would come for me, like would check on me. And so if I got a friend, if I have a girlfriend or a friend that she's struggling, she know that she can come to me. It's not just words. And so I think when you own a business and you can get overwhelmed as that quote unquote CEO, and if you don't have people that own a business in your circle that can say, like, girl, listen, we're gonna go away for the weekend, we're gonna do this, we're gonna like get your mind off work, or even just come check in on you to be like, you know, what you got going on? I ain't heard from you.
The phrase I often say is, instead of going, if you're that person that somebody's coming to you and y'all just have that type of relationship, instead of going into fix-it mode sometimes, you ask, how can I best support you right now?
Right now. Like, listen.
Do you want me to just listen? Do you want feedback? Do you what is it that you want to do some action stuff? Like, how can I?
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
how
can I best support you right now? And making sure that you're your best self. You know what I'm saying? Because right now you're not. How can I best support? Sometimes it's just I want you to shut the fuck up and just let me talk.
Let me vent.
Just vent. That's it.
But I think I really think you have to have. You gotta have that. Like you gotta have that person that you can call or talk to over a glass of wine or whatever, and I can say whatever the hell I want to say about who I want to say it, and then not go nowhere. The thing is, when people talk, I know for me as a business owner, entrepreneur, like it's some days, and some days I feel like, well, I say I used to feel like, okay, if I tell this person this, how will they see me? Yeah. And then if they're in business, are they going to take what the hell I just said and run with it? And they're going to do the same damn thing. So sometimes you feel like, okay, I just need to shut up and not say nothing. But a lot of times it's very hard for me not to say, especially if it's something good, like you want to be able to share that with somebody. Right. Absolutely. And so I'm not even going to lie. Like the people, Damion, one of the ones I call, I'm like, yo, this is what, but I know when I talk to him about stuff, it's not going to go. And then a couple of my other girlfriends, like I know, even Candace, like it's just certain people, because you don't. First of all, you don't want nobody to look at you like, bitch, what you say? You doing what? You about to jump out of a plane? You about to do? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Like
that's stupid. Right.
You got those people that you talk to about those ideas in your business, and they like, that shit ain't gonna work. What you talking about? You can't do that. you ain't got enough money for that,
right?
Or you ain't qualified. So
Yeah.
you got to be really careful about who you share those things. And so if you have a business partner that you trust and y'all friends and y'all have that kind of relationship, then that would probably be the ideal person. But you know, I've seen it unfold where it's bad.
Right. That's the most important thing. You know, trust. But when we're talking about trust, we're talking about a level of vulnerability. Like, and when I speak on that, I'm talking about what you just said, like being able to say, "Hey, I'm struggling," or "I got this idea," or "This is what it is," and knowing that I'm giving you the power. You can use it how you want to. Either you're gonna use it to benefit us,
right?
You know, or you're gonna use it to benefit yourself.
You're gonna use it for good,
right,
or for evil.
Yeah, absolutely. That's totally on you, and that has no reflection on me.
Right.
So that anxiety of being able to say, "Hey, I got this potential business opportunity. I want, you know what I'm saying? I want to put you on, or whatever the case may be, or what's your thoughts?" Like, however you take it is how you take it. If you want to take it and run with it and do your own thing, that's a reflection on you.
Right.
It's not me. It's not gonna stop me from expanding my support system and saying, "Hey, I count you as one of my people in my system, in my support team, or whatever the case may be." If you use it, whatever. But I'm not gonna stop being me, because guess what? You use it.
But that don't mean it's going right. I'm about to say, because I've had to learn that as an entrepreneur, like people are going to copy what you do, because I mean, honestly, you ain't the first motherfucker that came up with it either.
Right.
But
you just revamped it.
But so when you tell people things, or when people see you, I used to be like, well, damn. I mean, could I at least have it out for 5 minutes before you try to? But that's a form of flattery, and I think, you know, we have to accept that people are going to, if you're in the spotlight, if you're on social media, if you got followers, people are going to do it, and it's not taking no money out of my pocket.
Right.
If you do the same thing that I do, it's not going to take no money. And I always say that it's no competition. Like, people are like, oh, you have, no.
Somebody else.
Me?
Listen.
I'm my own competition. That's it. I don't really worry about it.
When you showed me the memory or whatever 5 years ago, whatever, with the couch, you know, me and Jackie was like, yo, like, we pioneers of the thing. Like, we started this thing. Of course, we weren't the first people to do a mental health podcast and do it how we did it, but it was the couch was the couch. You know what I'm saying? And 5 years later, you can go on any platform and you're gonna see somebody talking about mental health. But
when y'all were doing it, it wasn't that prevalent. Like, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
First of all, people weren't really talking about mental health.
Right.
But it wasn't a lot of people
on social media
that were going live on social media talking about mental health, and even in a good way, like having sessions, but talking about it as it was the norm.
Yeah, absolutely.
And nobody was really talking about it like it was a norm. I mean, now you got all kind of.
I used to be heated, like, yo, like, you see these mothers trying to copy our style, whatever the case may be. But now it's like, hey,
that's good, because then what it does is it bring. I feel like too, it brings more awareness to the whole concept and idea of mental health matters. Get you a therapist. It's not wrong with going to sit on somebody's couch.
Absolutely.
You can't be like, I'm gonna pray about it because you need Jesus and you need a damn therapist or a psychiatrist, whatever one you might need.
About it all. From addiction to sex to trauma to grief to everything. So when we're talking about being an entrepreneur, like, if you go in a grocery store, you go in the bread aisle, it's 20 damn companies that sell bread. It's the same shit. It's still bread. It's still a preference. Like, which one you want? You know what I'm saying? Like, which one do you prefer? And like you said earlier, people don't buy the product; they're buying you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if I have a trust in, what what's the bread company? Marita?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If I trust them more than I trust,
but I fuss with Sarah Lee.
Sarah Lee, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's your prerogative.
That's your
you know what I mean? So the same thing when it comes to entrepreneurship, friendships, being able to share your information, you know, all those things. Like, people gonna copy, people gonna mimic. You know what I mean? Like, it's just what we do. Like,
I think that's just part of it. It's just
part of the game.
It's part of the game. Like, and if you are offended that people are copying, biting, whatever it is you want to call it, like I think you probably need to go somewhere and sit down.
Because they're gonna do it.
It's gonna happen. Like, it's nothing in the world of YouTube University, TikTok, Facebook, real videos, like
everything is copied. You look at sports. You know what I'm saying? Like, one team will start something, and they may do a different play. Like, a while back, they had like the Wildcat, when you know, like, the center would snap the ball to the running back. It's not the quarterback. The quarterback somewhere else. The running back is catching the ball, and he can potentially throw it or run it. People started imitating it, and then people started to adjust to it after a while. It's the same thing in business. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to get those imitations, and the people who are consistent with it, it's going to stay there. So consistency is the key in all business. You know, we often talk about that, your brand. Keep putting it out there.
Yeah.
Like, if somebody copy your joint, like, this is what it is.
Because I just remember, like, when I didn't like social media. Like, I was not. But once I go back to the videos that I first did, and looking back now, like, I was really consistent with it because I knew what my plan was. Like, I knew where I wanted to be right now.
Right.
If I started 5 years ago, I knew where I wanted to be. And so if you own a business and you're not on social media, you're missing a form of marketing that could definitely grow your business. But again, you know, I know a lot of people that do the same thing that I do, and it don't
affect your bottom line.
No, because I ain't really thinking about people like that.
Yeah.
You know, because even, in my industry, people will ask all the time, like, oh, you know, what do you think about Uber and Lyft or other? I don't think about them. I don't think about Uber and Lyft. I don't think about other providers because I really see them as more where we can collaborate than being competitive against each other. So I think when you think about it like that, you have you know what I'm saying? Your vision is clear, and what your goals are going to be different versus trying to compete with people.
What up, Dren? People checking in. He like to travel, as you can see by his name. Like, he be all over the place, man. Like,
I ain't mad.
But that's my people right there. That's Orangeburg right there. But just being able to just know your niche, being able to be consistent with that. If they copy it, mimic it, whatever.
It's gonna happen. It's bound to happen.
You know what I'm saying? Like, build relationships.
Yeah,
networking.
Networking.
All of those things. Like, I know plenty therapists.
That's more
I refer people to other therapists all the time.
Because it ain't enough for y'all. First of all,
it ain't enough. I give shout outs to, you know, other photographers. I share their stuff. You know, Quentin Curry, he's a photographer as well. He does dope work. Like, it's not going to affect me.
Because what's for me, it's for me.
You know,
like, it doesn't matter that I share. And I think, we talked about a lot tonight, even with the partnerships, but you think about your partner that you in business with could be a hater. Could be a hater, and they could be trying to block. But at the end of the day, what is for you what you're supposed to have, you're gonna have. Like, you get it. You know,
stay positive, stay lifted, stay motivated. Even though that sometimes that's more difficult.
It could be hard.
It can be hard, but, you know, we all have those moments, and just recognizing that you are having a moment, and being able to minimize the intensity of the moment and how long it lasts. That's the trick. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
The length of that thing.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what life is. Life gonna life, but how long are you gonna allow it to impact you?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so saying, you know what? It's happening. I recognize it. all right, what's the game plan?
What we gonna do? What's the solution?
What's the solution? So anytime you have something in life, that's the strategy. Recognize it, accept it for what it is. Don't wish that it was different. Accept it, and then come with a game plan so you can change it.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
That's all I got for
That's
you.
all we got. I feel like that was a good conversation. I mean, I think that was a pretty good conversation.
Absolutely. Yeah, man.
We talked about some good stuff, but I hope that if you're on here and you are aspiring to be an entrepreneur, or you currently are an entrepreneur, and you're thinking about that friendship, partnership type of thing, like you make sure that it works best for both parties, or however many parties, and y'all could stay transparent and make sure you have really good communication skills.
Communication, boundaries, paperwork.
Them boundaries.
Paperwork.
Get
that paperwork. I don't care if y'all best friends, like, get that junk on paper.
Yeah, it need to be on paper.
It ain't real if it ain't on paper.
That's what we used to say to the police.
You can't. Handshake deals is cool, but when it comes to the legalities, if it ain't on paper, it didn't happen. That's the environment that I come from. If it's not on a piece of paper, if it's not in black and white, it didn't happen.
It didn't happen. What you talking about? What? I don't remember that. I don't remember saying. I don't remember that. You remember what I said?
No, but your signature says that you remember. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you talking about that?
Yeah,
now I remember.
absolutely.
That's when they come back to remembrance.
Yep, absolutely. So make sure your paperwork is right. I say that every week. Yeah. Just make sure your paperwork right, because it's all good till it ain't.
We don't have that.
When you fall out, hey, I just have my folder, or send a couple of emails, whatever the case may be. This is what it is.
And keep moving.
No. Take that emotional out.
Yeah, it ain't personal.
No, it's business. Who said that? Going back to Dion. It's personal.
Dion said, "Oh, it's personal."
It's personal now. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, it's Monday night. Hey, I know the Panthers are playing. If y'all out there uptown, be safe out there in the streets. I'm gonna go catch these games like every Monday night. Yeah. What's up, Lamb Star? We about to do some things. I'll be in the A real soon. Got some new things coming across the horizon. In regards to business. I'm not your average therapist, so I'm doing a whole bunch of stuff.
Heavy in these streets.
I'm about to be heavy in these streets. We're gonna make it happen. But definitely, y'all keep doing what you're doing, man. Yeah. Keep grinding, keep hustling, keep bossing up. Whatever you want to call it.
Whatever your thing is,
but be about your
business.
Absolutely. Be about your business. We're going to holler at y'all next week. We may have a guest, we may not. It may
just be us.
It might just be us. Yeah, I feel like we all family. So y'all want to tap in. If you're on the live, you want to tap in. Hey, shoot a little message, or if you got a comment and you want to come on here.
Come on.
We'll let you in the room for a little bit. Don't come on with no bull. No bull jump, like Dion said. Don't come on with no bull jump.
We done used our share of Dion quotes.
Yeah.
Tonight.
Hey, listen. I know I can't get Dion on blow the whistle now. We was trying to get him on
before he blew up.
Before Jackson.
Yeah, he ain't messing with you now.
Nah, he ain't got the time. Hey, but I'm gonna continuously tag him though. Yeah. So that was a great business move right there. Taking them shades. That's 1.1 million right there. Within 24 hours.
Within 24 hours. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
In a minute. That's a lot of money
for some shades.
For shades.
Absolutely.
Well, it was good, y'all.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all hanging out.
I'm gonna holler at y'all. IG, make sure y'all following us around the Processing, Facebook. What's up, family? Holler at your boy. Go to our YouTube channel, subscribe. Get those shorts, all those different things. So we're gonna keep this thing rolling. We're gonna holler at y'all. Peace.
You saw me.